You're listening to the Confident Creative Podcast. I'm your host, Carrie Gavin, former professional photographer turned professional encourager. I'm an intuitive life and business mentor focused on strengthening courage and confidence for heart-centered creatives. These heart-centered creatives desire to make an impact and an income through sharing their heart with the world. This podcast is dedicated to helping us creatives activate more courage within ourselves so we can experience more memories, achieve more milestones, and make more money. In addition to empowering stories, this show will also include practical, actionable strategies from thought leaders, influencers, impact makers, and my own personal experience. If you are passionate about the areas of intentionally living, prioritizing passion, choosing courage, as well as some soulful business strategy, spirituality, and some self-mastery, you, my friend, are in the right place. You ready to play? Hey, friends. Carrie Gavin here, jumping in with this really super fun Facebook Live that I turned into a podcast, and I'm super excited to share it with you. It was a Facebook Live that I did in my free community, the Confident Creative Collective, and it's all about how I realized the Polar Express had an invitation for us to look at how our businesses correlate with marketing and serving and attracting our ideal clients. And in this podcast interview, it's a little bit different because it was a Facebook Live and I'm putting it into the podcast because I really want it to serve you. And I will tell you, so I shared a clip of the Polar Express. It was a 4-minute clip, and I'm going to put the link to it, the YouTube video, in the show notes, but you will listen to it here on the podcast. And it has the same effect. It actually doesn't matter whether you're watching it or not. I mean, when you're watching it, you have more of the emotional experience of it, but while you listen to it during this Facebook Live, it will still impact you the way I intended, and you will still get the benefit of it. So it's about a 4-minute clip, but it is sped up a little bit. I made it a little bit faster just so we could get through it a little quicker. But I would love to know your feeling on it. If you have any questions or comments, bring it over into the Facebook community and let me know. But I think that it's going to really serve you. And I think that this metaphor is going to really stick with you on how to stand in your power, attract the right clients, and really come from a place of service. So let's get started. What does the Polar Express movie have to do with your business? And I wanted to share this with you because I think something that we often overlook is how we're marketing our business and the way that it feels in alignment for us. And so this example in the movie was such a perfect example of the way that I believe that we should be leading and serving. It goes hand in hand with the way that I teach soulful selling. It is the way that I lead my clients through what I believe is the effortless sales process. I don't think sales is something we do to somebody. It's something we do for them. And so I'm going to see if this works. I want to share a little clip of the movie. And I want to share it with you because I want to break it down after. But if you are here live, say hello. If you're here on the replay, say hello. And also let me know how this lands for you. And you can hashtag replay. So this is about a 4-minute clip. And I've made the speed on 1.25 because I don't want it to be too fast, but I want it to be fast enough. Okay, so we're going to play this. We're going to play this clip, and then we're going to talk about it after. So it's on 1.25 speed, and we're going to talk about how this relates to your business and why it's so important. So let's just check it out for a second.
Well, you coming?
Where?
Why, to the North Pole, of course. This is the Polar Express.
The North Pole?
Hold this, please. Thank you. Is this you?
Yeah.
Well, it says here, no photo with the department store Santa this year. No letter to Santa. And you made your sister put up the milk and cookies. Mm-hmm. Sounds to me like this is your crucial year. If I were you, I would think about climbing on board. Come on. I've got a schedule to keep. Oh! Suit yourself.
So here's what I want to share with you. If you're here, you guys can comment so I know that you're here and answer any questions that you have. So here's what I wanted to share with you. So the reason why this stopped me in my tracks was because it was all the things that I help my people really navigate when it comes to trusting yourself to create your business where you are attracting the right clients and you're not doing this like used car salesman approach where you're just like convincing people, right? Thank you, Rick. Thanks for letting me know. So here's why. So I'm going to put the link in the comments so you guys can go watch it on your own. But here's what I want you to see. So in the beginning, the boy hears the energy of the train, right? He hears the train, which starts to pique his curiosity. So the energy is going out into the world before he actually sees the train, and it sparks his interest. And he's like, that's interesting. What is that? I'm curious, right? So we do something in our business that causes curiosity. So the train is as if the train is the symbol and the metaphor for our business, right? So now our client, the boy, is curious. What is it? What is that thing I hear? What is going on? I don't know what it is. I want to learn more about it, whatever. So the train pulls up, right? The train pulls up and the conductor gets off and he's just sort of like, whoa, what's happening? What is this thing? What's going on? This like came out of nowhere. What's happening, right? And then he says, well, you come in. This is why it is so important that I want to talk about this, because at no point did he start going into, this is the Polar Express, and let me tell you all the bells and whistles, and you can have a chocolate, and you can go see Santa, and you can get presents, and there's a bell. He literally just stood in his power and said, are you coming? Is this for you? And then, right? So he speaks directly to his circumstances. He says, you had your sister put the milk and cookies out. You didn't write to Santa this year. Like he starts identifying the problems around the pain he's experiencing, right? And I know we don't like to talk about the pain our clients are experiencing, no matter what it is, if it's a product or a service or anything. We want to talk about the needs of our clients, but a lot of times it comes down to the fact that like they need our service, they need our product, right? So we need to highlight to them what their experience is without it. So he's saying, this is your circumstance. You didn't write a letter to Santa and you didn't put the cookies out. You had your sister put it out, which pretty much means like you don't believe, right? So he says, you know, this is happening in your life. He names it. He clearly identifies it. And then he says, if I were you, I'd get on the train. He simply makes an invitation. He doesn't pressure him. He doesn't try to convince him. He doesn't jump through hoops. He doesn't say all the reasons why this is a good idea for him. He just says, if I were you, I would do that. Right? And then the boy, this is the most beautiful example because the boy, he's like, no, I don't know what this is. I don't understand it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. But this is a no. I don't want to do it. And what does the conductor do? He says, suit yourself. Again, no convincing, no manipulating, no twisting things around to get them to see that they have to get my product. They have to get my service. Like, yeah, this is true personal responsibility, right? It's like, yeah, you get to decide if it's for you or not, right? This is what real service is. There's no high pressure sales. There's no convincing. There's no manipulating. There's no trickery. It's just saying, cool, suit yourself. You get to decide, right? Now, here is where it's interesting because as soon as the train starts moving, you can see the boy start to turn the wheels in his head like, wait a minute. I think I want to be on that. That seems like maybe I want to do that. And our brain is wired for connection and community and tribe, right? So as soon as that's removed and we say like, cool, not for you, we want back in, right? Our brain is wired for that. We want that connection and that community. We want to feel like camaraderie. That's what we're designed. That's how we're designed, right? So then he says, no, wait. I do want to be on. And he jumps on, right? But here's the most important part about the whole thing. He chose for himself that he wanted the experience. Nobody put his hand to the fire. Nobody made him feel terrible if he said no. Nobody made him feel like he was going to fail at life if he didn't get on the train. He decided for himself, I don't want to miss this experience. And so I invite you to look at where in your marketing, where in your business, where in your customer service, are you creating a safe container for your clients to decide for themselves? Now, I think it is essential that we educate our clients on the benefits to our product or our service, but a true sense of service, which is the way that I believe that we should operate in the world, one of the few shoulds that I agree with, is that we need to give our clients or our buyers or our consumers or our clients the ability to choose. Because nobody knows what's right for you more than you know what's right for you, right? So I want to tell my clients all the reasons why I think it's great for them if it feels like a good fit. But it's never from an energy of convincing. It's never from shaming. It's never from manipulating. It's never saying you're never going to get there if you don't do this. It's never any of those things, because I've had those things done to me. And buying out of fear feels terrible, right? And ultimately, I don't get the result because I'm not purchasing or investing or whatever from a place of alignment that's really good for me. I'm doing it because I feel like if I don't do it, I'm going to fail, right? So when you go back and you watch this clip, I want you to watch it through the lens of as if your business is the Polar Express and your clients are having the experience as the boy. And you're simply saying, this is an invitation for you. This experience is really awesome. We're going to give you all kinds of memories. We're going to give you all kinds of joy, because that's what we do in the world, right? And then let your clients decide. And then your client gets to say, this is for me, or this isn't the right time, or I don't know if this is a fit for me. Let me get more information, whatever it is. But this little movie clip is just such a perfect example of what it means to truly trust yourself, to run your business in a way that is not chasing clients. You are attracting clients. You are calling in your clients simply by being in integrity, simply by being your best self and serving the people that need you, because you can identify where you can help them, whether it's a product or a service or an item or a, idea or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's that you can serve your clients in some way, right? So if this is making sense, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you had ever, seen a movie, like if you have seen this movie, if you had the same idea, if this came to you, or you had any kind of inkling of like how this could relate to your business. I'm constantly scanning the world of like how things can fit into life and business and whatever. It's just, I don't know, my brain works like that. But I wanted to bring this message to you because I think it's super important. From the whole, like the energy before the train that is sparking curiosity, through ultimately the boy choosing for himself in personal responsibility and raising his hand and saying, yes, I want this. Like, it's the most beautiful example of how we get to market and how we get to advertise and how we get to serve, right? If we're really serving, we are letting our people make a choice that is good for them, but we're also giving them all the facts, right? So just like the conductor said, if I were you, I would do this because it looks like you're sort of not in the best situation right now, right? So it's just an invitation. And I really want you to consider that for yourself, because I think there are so many people out there that are preaching like essentially manipulation and persuasion and way to sort of like highlight the pain for your people if they don't have your product or service, and then tell them all the reasons why they're not going to succeed if they don't have it. And like, I just couldn't rebel against that anymore. Like, it just does not feel good at all. Oh, Rick, I'm so glad it's resonating for you. That's awesome. I really love to teach through metaphors. It's how my brain works the best. Um, your brain certainly works differently than mine. I would never see that without your perspective. Yeah, I don't know. I can't turn it off. Like I'm constantly looking through the lens of entrepreneurship. I don't know why. Like here's one fun fact. Whenever Dave and I go out to dinner, we have this running joke of like, will they or will they not have a pen that is branded to their business? And you would be shocked if you go out now, start paying attention, because I know in my photography business, I used to order pens in bulk. And I would leave my pens all over my town. I would leave them in other towns. I would leave them at the post office. I would leave them at the bank. I would leave them in client orders. I would give them to my friends. I would leave them everywhere because it's brand recognition, right? And so it is so inexpensive to do this. You can do this with your business right now. I would do it with chapstick. I had all kinds of things in my business because client astonishment is like my number one thing. So I would do this. And even now when we go out, it's like a running joke that we're like, it's like, 1 out of 10 times will a restaurant have a pen that's branded to them, which is insane to me from a business perspective, because it is such a low cost, low investment where you are constantly giving people pens to sign their checks every single day, right? So like, what are you doing? Of course you should do that. I think pens should be in every kind of order of any kind of anything, because it's such an easy thing to do and your brand is always out there, whatever. Anyway, this metaphor was so clear to me when I was watching the movie with my kids. This was years ago, actually. And I was just thinking about it. I was listening to Christmas music because Christmas music is my favorite. And this song from Josh Groban came on, and I was like, I'm going to talk about this in my group today because I think it's so relevant. So just think about it. I'm going to post the link below. It's a 4-minute clip. You can speed it up if you want, but really look at it and see, like, do you trust yourself to run a business where you can serve your people from a place of integrity and full service, rather than feeling like you have to do high pressure sales calls or, like manipulation, essentially? Like that is just not the way I know how to sell. And that's really not what gives your clients the best experience anyway, right? So I would really love for you to try this on, really see how it feels for your own marketing of your business. What kind of business do you think, or what kind of marketing do you think you've been running? And do you feel like it's an option to actually change it up a little bit and just make invitations? Because you don't have to say yes to every single client, right? And they don't have to say yes to you. But it's important to recognize, are you coming at it from a place of, I fully believe in my service or my product, and I know that this is going to help someone? You can come or not, but it doesn't affect my self-worth. It doesn't affect my ability to believe in what I'm doing if you say no, right? And that's something that I think a lot of us struggle with when it's like, when we get rejected, right? First of all, you personally are not getting rejected at all. It may be a marketing thing. It may be a messaging tweak. It may be something people don't understand. If people have any indication of confusion, they're out. Their brain shuts off. When we're in the buying process, our brain is constantly feeling like, maybe this isn't for me. I don't know if this is a good thing. So it's going to scan for all the reasons why it's not a good idea. So as soon as your brain is in the buying process and you feel any kind of confusion or discord, you're like, peace out, I'm out of here. Rick says, I've absolutely found this same thing over the years, and pressuring the used car salesman style is not the way. If you provide the product or service of value, it will sell itself without manipulating potential suitors in any way. I backed off the sales pitch thing for the most part a long time ago, and it's done nothing but help, honestly. 100 million, 100 million%, right? Because when you are truly serving people and you're solving a problem for them, or you're upgrading their experience, or you're giving them a reason that it's going to simplify things for their business or their life or their passion or whatever it is, you are serving them. Why would they not want to do that? You don't have to convince people, right? And here's the other thing. When your clients have a really good experience with you and they love your product or service and they love working with you because the experience was so amazing, they want to buy from you. They want to invest with you, right? And on the heels of that, they also want to tell other people about you, because I really believe our people have the best people in their circles too. So when they have a really good experience, this is why client care and client astonishment and really going above and beyond is like next level for me. That's how I built my 14-year successful photography studio. It was all client care. It was 99% referral based. People were investing anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 for family photos. It wasn't because they were just pretty pictures, right? It was white glove service all the way through. And I want to share that with you because you have that opportunity too, right? You can do that right now in this experience right now. You can go reach out to your past clients. You can go reach out to your clients that you're working with right now and just tell them something you appreciate about them. You can go send them a gift. You can send them a thank you note. You can, give somebody that gave you a referral. What did you do for them? Like I have endless ideas on how to actually upgrade your client experience. And I might even do a masterclass on it because I feel like it's something that's so missed for so many people. But I love you for sharing that, Rick, and thank you for being brave enough and courageous enough to share that, because I think what happens, and tell me if this feels true for you too, is that when we get into business, we sort of hear the like success strategies, right? And so those strategies often come with like high pressure and really like masculine energy of like push, get this done, close the deal, like be a badass. And in my experience, it just doesn't have to be like that, right? Like we can serve from a heart-centered place and also make a sale, right? Because when we really help people understand things in the way that, I often say, if I can explain things better or as good as what my clients need, well, then they know that they can trust me because I resonate with them, right? And it's the same for you. So I've gone on a little bit longer than I wanted, but I hope that it serves you and I hope that it helps you, because I think that this is a really beautiful example of really owning what you do in the world and how your creativity helps the people that need it by just standing your truth and saying, is this invitation for you? Is this invitation for you? Yes or no? You get to decide, right? You get to co-create this experience with your clients, whatever that looks like. And some of the people might show up and say, hey, I want to get on the train, but I actually can't get on right now. Can you come back in 6 months? Right? Cool. No problem. If we're really rooted in service, we're going to honor that with them. No problem. Right? But when we're coming from this high pressure sales feel, it does not feel good. And we don't have to do that. So permission granted to stop doing the high pressure sales if you are currently doing those things, and go watch the video and then let me know your biggest takeaway, one from this video or from watching that, or how it lands for you. Let me know in the comments if you watched it. Let me know in the comments if this served you. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk more about this or what resonates for you, because I really want to make sure that I'm serving you guys. And this really is a container for me to show you like the behind the scenes of how I do things, in hopes that it serves you and saves you with a heartache and saves you the struggle. And, my greatest desire is really to end this sense of suffering when we are business owners, because I think we have creative work to do in the world. And sometimes it's really hard to be in this space without support. And so I just want to remind you that we're all in this together, and I'm totally in your corner. And I'm so an open book for this. And I'm so excited to share it with you. So thank you so much for being here. If you're here tomorrow, Rick, yes, I'm so happy you were here with me live. That was so fun. Tomorrow, 12 p.m., I'm doing the podcast lunch party. There's free giveaways of all kinds of things. So please show up or just respond to the post and you're entered into the drawing. There's multiple ways to get entries and multiple entries for that. You do not have to be on it live in order to win. You are just getting entered in, and then I will be pulling out on the live podcast launch party. So don't feel like, I've had some people say like, I can't be there live, so sorry. And I'm like, no, you can still enter. Like, it's totally available to you. That's why I set it up the way that I did. I know a lot of people are busy at that actual time, but if you can be there live, it's going to be pretty magical. So I'm so excited for this. Thank you so much for being here. Rick, shout out to you for playing with me on this live. I'm so happy to see your name pop up. And I wish you guys an amazing Wednesday, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Confident Creative podcast. I am so psyched that I got to have this conversation, and I loved sharing it with you. If you enjoyed it, I would love for you to hit subscribe to the podcast, and it would mean the absolute world to me if you could go ahead and leave a review about what your biggest takeaway was. If you want to come over and continue the conversation, join us in my free Facebook community, the Confident Creative Collective. We'll be diving into all different conversations from the podcast, as well as some additional trainings and some inside scoop. If you want to find me on the interwebs, you can find me on Instagram at Keri.Gavin, Keri.Gavin, or you can find me on Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you, and thank you for sharing this with anyone you think it resonates with. See you on the next episode.